Nate Kilbert here at the Whitney Arena. Is it safe to say that you were on your way to California? You're on your way, and then you had to turn, you had to do a 360.
Well, I tell you, Jackson State had me locked in, man. I had totally forgotten. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Your focus is on Jackson State.
Wow, what you talking about?
I didn't see a smile from you in practice today, so that told me that you are locked in and focused.
Hey, man, real focus, man. I think our kids are too. I think that this is a game they really want to win. I just hope that don't get us off to a bad start. Cause you know how you want to win something so bad, you want to do something so bad, you just play bad. Cause you're pressing. So hope we won't be pressing and we just come out and play some real good basketball. Cause I really feel like we're really shooting the ball well now. So I'm looking forward to the game on Saturday. I want to see how our kids gonna respond.
Well, for the first time, I don't know if it's these lights. These lights are bright. Cedric Tillman does a good job with these lights. When I was in Houston. For the Cactus Jack, this guy had a dome light that was probably three times as big as what we got here, so it was really, really bright. But the light's on you pretty good. You're glowing. Hey, and winning helps that too, Coach.
Winning, I tell you what, winning helps a lot of things.
Yeah.
Winning helps a lot of things when it comes to your kids. Me and you always talk about body language. Body language get better when you're winning. And our kids. They deserve this though. They've been through a lot. They've been dealing with a lot of injury wise, and for them to actually kind of feel good about themselves a little bit, it always helps. It always helps you to play good basketball when you start feeling good about yourself.
Do you think there was a time they felt bad about themselves?
Absolutely. They feel bad because they were losing game. They know they should have been winning, and at the same time, a lot of them was playing with nagging injuries. When I say nagging injuries, that they probably shouldn't have been playing with. But they wanted to help their team that was trying to get through a funk that we was in when it came to just actually winning games. Yeah. So we lost about 4 games. I know we should have won. And they know we should have won them. So, but I think that's in our past now. We just got to go with what we're playing real good basketball now. We just got to keep believing in ourselves, keep believing in each other. I think that's been the key. We've been sharing the ball, and people been coming through. They're hitting those big shots, like Neil on Monday night. She hit some big shots for us, but those are shots she can make. She just got to wait her turn and get her feet together and knock those shots down.
Well, the Florida team's rolling here, and so Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M, and they're kind of in the middle of the bracket. I'm looking at the standings here. FAMU 6, Bethune-Cookman in a 3-way tie with us and Prairie View. By the way, the Lady Braves do have the tiebreaker on 2 teams. Florida A&M and Bethune-Cookman. So if it comes down to that 8th spot, 7-6, the Lady Braves have the tiebreaker. So that's glad. I'm glad of that because those tiebreakers are like ace cards in your back pocket because they can help elevate you. They can help you get in the tournament, or they can get you the number 1 seed like it had for our men last year. So it was good to get those 2 tiebreakers. All right, so let's start with Bethune-Cookman, Coach. 51-40, and you talk about that lineup with White, McDonald, Edwards, Woods, and Dunn. It was a 7-6 game at the end of the first quarter. And I was just wondering what in the heck was going on this court. Was it the court? Was it me? Was it you? Was it the players? What's going on out there that first 10 minutes?
Child, it was the ice bowl, remember? It was freezing cold. And you can see it with both teams. But they was rubbing their hands together, all that different stuff during the game and stuff. And they really couldn't get started. And as time went along, you saw both teams kind of warm up.
Yeah.
They got it going a little bit, but that first quarter, man, it was freezing on both ends of the floor. And I thought the kids had a hard time getting themselves warmed up.
What was concerning to me was if we were losing the quarter without them making a field goal, because it was heading that way. We hit one late. I don't know if it was Henderson. Someone hit a bucket late to give us the lead, but we were losing, and they didn't hit a field goal. And so, it was one of those things where 7-6, and so you take that, but then 18-15 at the break, and then we just kind of, it's one of those low-scoring games. And I look at the Alabama State game, the Florida A&M game here the other night. We won our share of low-scoring games. So I think as the score stayed low, I felt pretty good that we were going to find a way because our defense, we're top 4 in defense. And so I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah, low-scoring games favor us. I mean, it's simple. I don't care who we're playing against. The lower the score, it favors us because we feel like we can hit those spurts where we can, if the game is close, we can pull away. You know what I mean? The lower the score, the better chances we have to win. You know, and the kidding part about the game against FAMU was the fact that you know, the score was so low in the first quarter that they was only getting their points from free throws. You know what I mean? And our points was hard coming by, you know, from free throw line and jump shots. But it was a low scoring game. But we feel good about the quarter being a low scoring game because we feel like we could win the game. The lower the score was. And that FAMU game, Charles, that was the biggest tiebreaker that we was worried about because they beat us 8 points up there. FAM only beat us 5, so we know we had to get over that 8-point mark. You know, so that was a big game for us.
Well, in that Bethune-Cookman game, 2 players in double figures. Destiny Brown was named the player of the week this past week with 20 points and 10 rebounds. Cheatham with 14 and 11. And those are only 2 in double figures. But everyone who played pretty much played their role. Might not be scoring. Could be on the boards. Could be assists. Could be the 50-50 balls. Everyone I thought in that game, despite the low scoring game, as we look at some of the highlights, contributed in some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah, and see, and that's what you just said. That's key because, you know, probably the most important person to our team comes off the bench, and that's Kiara Henderson. Somebody who don't do a lot of scoring for us, but all those intangible things that she do that makes us great. You know, Kayla Watson has been a big part of why we've been winning lately, though, because of her play off the bench, you know, scoring-wise and defensive-wise and just speed-wise. You know, I think that's the key. And those intangible things are a big reason why we're winning now. And it's not coming from our people who are scoring a lot like Destiny. Destiny has been on a roll. I mean, she's been really getting it done. You know, we just having people stepping up at the right time. I think Tanjanae is starting to come around a little bit. She's starting to get her shot to going. And if Neil keep doing what she's doing, shooting the way she's shooting the ball, we're going to be difficult to deal with.
And I think these last few games we've done a good job coaching, staying out of foul trouble. You know, you haven't had to make the early subs or, you know, someone picking up 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes and then they're done for the half. I think we've played a lot smarter in trying to stay on the floor and avoiding those unnecessary fouls that have got us in trouble.
Yeah, and when you start talking about foul trouble, Charles, we're talking about really key people getting those early fouls. We can make the adjustment to some people getting those fouls because we're deeper at guard, you know. But when Destiny started getting them Nene gets, you know, that's the 4 and the 5. We got to make some major adjustments. We can make the adjustment better with Nene, with Tanjanae right than we can with Destiny. You know, the key is not letting her get in early foul trouble. You know, because really we're thinking about playing her and her and Ford against Jackson more together, having them out there together. So we kind of see that lineup.
Ford, when she's obviously the number 1 off the bench in the post when Destiny Brown is either in foul trouble or needs a blow. Ford, the scoring aspect of it. We know Destiny can score. Ford also, I think, as a passer, as someone that can spread the floor, you have to respect her because she can get around you and she can get to the bucket. She can get to the free throw line.
Well, she's been doing a good job for us, you know, when Destiny get in foul trouble. She's kept us in games simply because she's rebounding the ball so well. But, you know, her thing is just defensively. She's solid. You know, you're going to have to shoot over her. And she don't foul a lot herself. So she knows how to stay in the game. But, you know, when she's scoring for us like she was a couple games, you know, I think like the FAM game up there, she really scored a lot for us. When she's doing that, she's just adding a lot of more flavor to what we need from her, you know. And before she got injured, she was doing that, you know, at will. Whenever she wanted to score, she could get some baskets for her. But now it's a little tougher for her because she can't get the explosiveness that she needs to be able to power up or be able to get off the jump. Watch her a lot, Charles. She's shooting off with one leg a lot. But it's a rhythm shot for her now. It's not a bad shot. It looks bad, but it's not a bad shot for her because she's trying to stay away from that injured leg. So she's shooting off with one leg. But she's been doing great for us. Hopefully she'll continue to do that.
You know who I think also is showing a little bit of pep in her step, a lot more confidence, Nia McAlfield.
Absolutely. She's been a different in the last 2 games. I think the way she's taking care of the ball, and the FAMU the way she shot the ball. But Neil's a good shooter. People don't realize that she don't get point guards don't get an opportunity to take a lot of shots. You know, but when they take them, they have to make them because you know, Neil and Shante probably gonna take 5 to 6 shots a game. You know, and they had to make at least 3 of them. You know, at least 2. You know. But Neil was on. She was on fire. You could look at it when he left her hand. She knew what she was doing. The only shots that she missed was late in the shot clock, and she was trying to get it up quick before the shot went off. But those other 4 3-point shot she made, she got a time to set herself, and normally she can make those consistently. We just need her to keep doing it.
Well, the one thing that we've cut down on a little bit is turnovers, and the losses that we've had, and I was talking with Coach Powell about it last week, the losses that we've had, I did the math, we're averaging like 23 turnovers during that spurt in which we were struggling to win games. We had 16 against Bethune-Cookman. I'm sure you want to cut down on that, and even against Florida A&M did a little bit better job with that. So that helps us as well.
Yeah, it does. It helps us when we can turn down the turnover. But the thing about the turnovers against Bethune and FAM, Charles, they weren't live ball turnovers. They didn't turn into an easy basket. And when we turn it over 20-some times, a lot of those were live ball turnovers. That means the other team is scoring layups against you. So I thought we did a real good job of really taking care of the ball these last 2 home games and didn't give up those live ball turnovers. A lot of those turnovers we got because we were trying to make stuff happen. And that's all part of the game. You want your kids to be creative. You want them to be trying to get downhill a lot, and a lot of times they start playing fast, and they're creating turnovers because they're trying to make stuff happen. So you can live with those turnovers.
It was a big win by the Lady Braves over Bethune-Cookman, and now the Monday night matchup with the best scorer in the league in Grizzle. So we did a nice job. Grizzle in the game had 17, a lot of them late. I think she had 11. She had 6 in the first half. She had 11 in the second half, a lot of them late, which we kind of had the game in hand. But what was the challenge trying to slow down Grizzle, an Alabama transfer, and we know she can fill it up.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. She's something to watch out there. But our strategy was just to get the ball out of her hand, make someone else on the team become a big time scorer for them. And I just don't feel like they have anybody on their team that's capable of being a big time scorer for them, simply because they haven't done it all year.
Yeah.
Grizzle has been the person that's been scoring for them, and been the person they've been looking to score. Her and number 30, they are the 2 kids that really put the ball in the basket for them. So we trapped her a lot when she had the ball. Anytime she dribbled towards someone, we doubled her and got the ball out of her hand. And I thought we did a real good job against her because she's crafty with that ball. I mean, she knows how to step between two defenders, and she got a nice jump shot. She's just hard to defend, but we put long kids on her. We put fast kids on her. We flip-flopped on her just about the whole game. Watched them play a little bit. Cheatham played a little bit. White played a little bit. Henderson came in the game. So we kind of wore down as the game went along, and we trapped her a whole lot. But she's a great basketball player. She's fun to watch, especially when you're not playing against her. But our kids did a good job against her.
Well, speaking of fun to watch, this offense was fun to watch. And I was teasing Tajane Wright earlier today at practice, like, man, I was just so glad. I almost jumped out of my seat. I mean, she stepped into a 3 in transition, and she's been kind of feeling it, a little bit. But the offense really came around. I mean, 64 points. I mean, you had 4 players in double figures, 4 of the starters in double figures. The ball was moving. I thought we were free-flowing out there offensively.
We was, Charles. We was. I think you hit it. You said it just like it should be said, because that's the reason why we have not been winning those close games. We've been in games, but not because we've been shooting the ball well. If we had been shooting the ball well, we've been blowing people away, because we know we're going to get good shots. We feel like our offense is that good. We're going to get good shots. Now, are we going to make them like we did against FAM? Because if we make them like we did against FAM, we're going to beat Jackson State. It's simple. I mean, we're going to get those good shots. We just have to make them. We're going to get those backdoor layups. We just have to make them. We might not get as many, because that's what people play us for. They give us the other options, which are those 12 and 10-foot jump shots, and because they're so scared of the back door. But if we're making those 12-foot jump shots, that's going to open up the back door. So hopefully our kids can continue to shoot the ball well. It's all about confidence, though. That's what it is. It's all about confidence. When you take that shot, you got to believe you're going to hit it. If they believe in what they're doing and believe in their ability to knock those shots down, they're going to make them.
Destiny Brown, Player of the Week, 16 and 12. I mean, Destiny Brown has been lights out, but I thought everyone again played their role. Henderson stepped up. Cheatham with just 2 points, but what she does on the boards and assists, I thought, sometimes the stat sheet can be deceiving. It's what the eye test shows, but sometimes the other things that you don't necessarily see on this paper, in the box score, is huge.
And think about that. Think about this, Charles. The fact that Grizzle, number 5 for them, Grizzle is the point guard. So that means Cheatham is out away from the rim checking her now. So we gave her a big assignment. Hey, she's yours. Shut her down a little bit, make her work. And that's what she did. So now she's away from the basket. So that takes away from some of from her game a little bit because she's away from the basket. She's not in rebounding position. You know what I mean? And we say don't leave her. You know, when somebody else shoot the ball, you make sure you stay with her, but we don't want them passing it back to her. So that took away from some of the things like scoring-wise, rebounding-wise. Why you didn't see the big numbers in those areas, but her presence in the game was huge simply because she was long. You know, she forced the young lady to take bad shots a couple times, you know, but defensively, she was solid.
And the Lady Braves were solid. 49 points. Florida A&M scored 60 down in Tallahassee, holding them to 49 points. Coach, as we transition into Jackson State, you talked about these Florida teams at home. 2 weeks ago, you said, and you identified these two games at home as being the key games. If we're going to make the top 8 and go to Birmingham, we had to have these two against the Florida teams, and we got them.
Yeah, we did. And, you know, we talked about it before the games were played, that we felt like these were two key games. We had to win those games, and we came in, we took care of business. But it's back to what we've been talking about, y'all. The body language was leaving Florida was good, even after the two losses. We felt like we should have won, but when we got back to practice that week, we really felt good about ourselves. We thought we had an opportunity to do some good things, and you know, we went into 2 tough games against Southern and Grambling and lost those 2 games at home and had one. You know, we had Southern by 15 points won the second half, but coming into the Florida games at home, we really feel good about ourselves. So. And I think the win at Valley helped us too. You know, just to get in the W column for a second. You know, we didn't play that bad at Pine Bluff, even though they ended up winning the game. But to be able to go to Valley and win at that place, and the Valley is a strange team. You got to be careful dealing with them. They can easily knock you off, as Alabama State found out at Alabama State. So I thought that win coming into the 2 Florida school games that here at home helped us. You know, to get in the win column.
Well, this game Saturday is going to feature previous SWAC player of the week in Destiny Brown, averaging 18, 11, and 2 blocks this past week, and then Angel Jackson, the impact player of the week. So it's going to be a big matchup. Coach, again, looking at the standings right now, we're in a tie for 7th place. Bethune-Cookman, Prairie View, and the Lady Braves are in a 3-way tie, 5 and 8. We've got the tiebreaker on Bethune, and we have the tiebreaker on Florida A&M. And Alabama A&M goes to Florida as well as Alabama State, so we'll be following that. But as you talked about, 3 weeks ago, we were saying if this happens, if that happens, if this happens, if that happens. Now you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You just take care of business next game up,
yeah,
and you'll have a chance to move up and get inside the top 8.
Absolutely. This game against Jackson is a big game for us again. But, you know, all the games, Charles, from here on out are big, though. We know that. All the games are big, and the good thing about it, we got all our last 5 games. We got 3 of those games at home. You know, we only have 2 more road games left, and that's you know, we go to Houston and play the 2 Texas schools, and all the other games are at home. So I feel good about where we are. We just got to continue to play good basketball. That's what it's all about. And we play good on the road. It's not like we go on the road just stink it up. Now we in games. We give ourselves a chance to win. So we feel good about the 2 road games that we're going to play. But we talking to our kids about that tunnel vision. We only see Jackson State right now. That's what we're concentrating on.
All right, well, let's look at Jackson State. January 6th was the last time we played. It seemed like it's a long time ago. You know, with the way these schedules are set, you know, you play your first game, and then it seems like forever in which you play them again. And January 6th was the last time we saw Jackson State. It was 74 to 46. How different is Jackson State from them to now? How different are the Lady Braves from then to right now?
I think both teams are a little different simply because Jackson State don't have White anymore. She got hurt in that game, and she tore ACL in that game against us. I think we are different simply because we're playing more kids with confidence now, and we're not as broke. We was broke up in that game, that first game. Remember, Destiny, we didn't even know we were going to play Destiny in that game. So I think we're a little bit more healthier in this game coming up on Saturday than we were at Jackson. You know, even though we got kids playing with injuries, but their injuries they can play with long as they're wearing their brace. Like Kaylin Watson is dealing with that ACL sprain, and Ford is still dealing with an ACL and a torn meniscus. So, but they are used to playing with it now. They've been playing with it a while, and they're not really complaining about it like they were in the very beginning. So I think both teams are in a good place though. Don't get me wrong, 'cause Jackson's still solid. They got so many players, Charles. They just so deep. You know what I mean? And I watch them on film, and they just got them coming off the bench. They steady coming off the bench, and they don't. You don't see any letdown once these kids come off the bench. All of them got certain things that they do well. Now Jackson to me is the key, because she's gonna shut the rim down. You're not going to get a lot of easy stuff in her area.
And we struggle with getting stuff to the rim in the first meeting.
Yes, absolutely. And it's simply because of her. She's going to, like she put a lid over the rim. We're forced to shoot more jump shots against Jackson State because of Jackson. Normally we get stuff closer to the basket when she's not in the game. So when you see them sub her out, you'll see her start to get stuff closer to the basket. That's why I think it's so important that we're making our 10 and 12-foot jump shots, so that'll open things up. But I think both teams are in a good place when it comes to personnel, though. I think Jackson is solid because they're so deep, but I think we're healthy enough now where we can be real good at around 9 deep. I think that's good enough. We're good enough to play 9 good kids and give us a chance to win.
When I look at Jackson's record, we know they're undefeated, and I always say Monday night some weird scores. 52-39.
Yeah.
They beat Bethune-Cookman. Kind of strange. I don't know if it was the Monday night whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? I mean, because they've been dominant at times. They're deeper, and I even looked at the stats where in years past with Holiday averaging 21 and 10, their top scorer is not even in the top 10. So. They're deeper. They've got more weapons. They've got 2 SWAC transfers, Avent from Texas Southern and Mahoney from Valley, who both of those young ladies are making an impact.
Yeah, but as I watched that film on them in Bethune, if we had played them on that night, the way we shot it on that night, we would have beat them, double-figure point, because that's the worst I seen them shoot the ball. They was just and they wide open. They just missing wide open shots, and they did that for a long period of time. Normally Jackson, they come out of that slump, but that's the first time I seen A-Bit miss shots like she was missing. That's the first time I seen Crump miss shot. All of them missing at one time. Normally they got one person that's pulling them through, but in that game against Bethune, couldn't nobody make a shot. Yeah. And that's why the game was so low scoring. And Bethune just couldn't make a shot either. It looked like they was just both teams was going through the motion, because both teams was pressing each other, and they was both, which slowed the game up for both teams, because both teams was pressing, but they didn't turn it over. That was the key. They took their time, but it made it a slow game, and they was getting open shots. They was just missing them. Even Bethune was getting open shots. They was just missing them. So it was one of those games where both teams were I guess, fortunately for both teams, that both teams were missing. But if we could have played them on that night, and the way we shot the ball on Monday night, we would have beat them.
Well, how big is this, Coach? This place, it's going to be a lot of folks here. The weather's going to be nice, not a lot going on. And I think if we can play this game tight, close, turn them over a little bit, knock down shots, should be a fun game here.
No, that's going to be the key, Charles, is knocking down shots. And, keeping the game close. If we can keep the game close and knock down a shot at our place and where this crowd's going to be and get them in the game, and that's the key. We can't allow Jackson to take the crowd out the game. And then where they take the crowd out of the game, we get a bad start. You know what I mean? And they take off from us. But we can keep the game close or get a nice little lead on them like we did at Jackson. And that's a making for a good game for us. We're just keeping the game close and making our shot. But it all starts with us about shot making. If we can make shots like we did against FAM, we'll be okay.
Coach, we appreciate it. Let's go get them.
Appreciate it, y'all.
1 o'clock here. Get here early. Get here early. Should be a good one. 1 o'clock. Lady Braves and the men taking on Jackson State. We'll try to keep their streaks going. That'll do it for the Nate Kilbert and Land and Bussey programs. We'll be right back here next Wednesday with a recap of that game. We'll take some questions, talk a little bit about recruiting. We didn't do that with Nate Kilbert tonight, but we'll definitely get into that with just one game over the next few days. For our producers, Cedric Tillman, Jamario Brooks, I'm Charles Edmond. Enjoy your Wednesday. We'll talk to you on Saturday right here, Alcorn and Jackson State. So long.